To prove just how elite she is, only 4 players inside the top 32 in the world have a higher break points per game ratio. Based on the past 52 weeks on tour, Alex Eala has earned 0.87 break points per return game. Elite company right there. Alex's ability to make a lot of returns, even when the quality of serving is the best in the world, is testament to her ability to return effectively. She is winning 1.54 return games.
Aryna Sabalenka has spent the better part of 2 years being treated as the most feared returner in women's tennis. But a new number just surfaced that completely upends that narrative. According to the latest breakpoints per return data circulating across Tour analytics, Alex Eala now sits at 0.87, making her the 4th best returner on the entire WTA Tour. Above her sit only 3 names: Coco Gauff at 0.90, Iga Swiatek at 0.89, and Marta Kostyuk at 0.88. Sabalenka, the player long assumed to be the benchmark for return of serve, does not appear anywhere in that top 4. For a 21-year-old from the Philippines who is not even inside the top 25 in the official singles rankings, cracking the top 4 in one of tennis's most demanding statistical categories, ahead of the reigning world number 1 in that metric, is the kind of number that should make every contender on tour sit up. For context, breakpoints per return measures how often a player manufactures breakpoint chances on their opponent's serve relative to the number of return games played. Unlike raw return points won, this stat isolates a player's ability to consistently apply real pressure, the kind that forces a server into second-guessing placement and rhythm. It rewards players who do not just get the ball back in play, but who actively hunt for the moments that decide close matches. Sabalenka's power has always made her serve one of the tour's biggest weapons, but her ability to manufacture break chances against elite opponents has apparently slipped enough this season to fall outside the top 4, and that is exactly where this story becomes must-watch.
Only Marta Kostyuk at 0.89, Jessica Pegula at 0.88, Iga Swiatek at 0.89, and Coco Gauff at 0.9 have a better ratio. Talaga naman. That is elite on average per set. Again, Coco Gauff sets the standard on tour at 1.77 games per set, and Alex lies 12th, which is further evidence that her return is significantly better than her current world ranking at number 28.
This is not a fluke number pulled from nowhere. Eala has spent the last several months building a resume that backs up exactly why her return game has become this dangerous. During her grass court swing this year, she took down world number 2 Aryna Sabalenka at the Berlin Open, a player whose serve is considered one of the 2 or 3 biggest in the sport. Manufacturing break chances against Sabalenka requires elite anticipation, because there is often no time to think, only react and strike. Eala did not just survive that serve, she broke it down consistently enough to advance to the semifinals. In that same tournament run, she also defeated then world number 8 Alina Svitolina, another player who thrives on redirecting pace and denying opponents easy looks at breakpoints. She eventually fell in that Berlin semifinal to Linda Noskova, who went on to win Wimbledon, meaning the only player to stop Eala's run that week was the eventual major champion herself. Then came Wimbledon, where Eala authored the biggest win of her career by defeating defending champion Iga Swiatek in the 3rd round, 7-6, 6-2. Grass is historically the surface where big serving punishes players who cannot generate break chances. Yet Eala found enough of them against Swiatek's serve to make history as the first Filipina to reach the 4th round of the tournament. She backed that up with a win over Maya Joint and a hard-fought battle against Renata Zarazua, only eventually falling to 13th seed Jasmine Paolini. Across that Wimbledon run and her broader 2026 season, she closed her grass campaign with a 12-4 record, a mark built largely on her ability to create pressure from the return side of the court. That Wimbledon run alone netted her 240 ranking points, 230 of it pure net gain, pushing her total to 1,666 points, the highest total of her career. Her ranking trajectory backs up every bit of this. Eala entered this year outside the top 30, sitting around number 140 just 12 months earlier. By March, she had cracked a career high of 29, following a round of 16 run at Indian Wells. After Wimbledon, she surged again to a new career best of 28, a jump fueled almost entirely by matches where her return pressure was the deciding factor against bigger, more decorated opponents. Even her rise last season laid the groundwork for this. In 2025, as a wildcard, she scored back-to-back top 10 wins over then world number 5 Madison Keys and then world number 2 Iga Swiatek during her breakout run to the Miami Open semifinals, becoming the first Filipino to ever reach a WTA 1000 semifinal and the first Filipino to crack the world's top 100. This is not a case of a young player getting hot for one tournament. This is a sustained climb built on a specific, repeatable skill. And the data is now suggesting that skill ranks 4th in the entire sport, ahead of Sabalenka herself. So why would Sabalenka be paying attention to this at all? Because return of serve, and specifically the ability to manufacture breakpoints, has always been one of the pillars of her dominance. Her ability to step inside the baseline and take huge cuts at second serves has bailed her out in matches where her own serve was misfiring. If a 21-year-old outside the top 25 is now generating more breakpoint chances per return than the world number 1, the gap that once separated Sabalenka from the rest of the tour on this specific skill has not just shrunk, it may have already closed. Eala is not a big hitter in the mold of Rybakina or Sabalenka. She built her game on placement, timing, and reading her opponents, which happens to be exactly the skill set that produces elite breakpoint numbers. That is precisely why this stat, if it holds up over the second half of the season, could reshape how analysts talk about the next generation of returners in women's tennis. Before we get into what this could mean heading into the hardcourt season, I want to hear from you directly. If you have been following Alex Eala's rise this year, you already know this has not come out of nowhere. It has been building match by match since the start of the season. But for a lot of viewers finding this story for the first time, seeing her name ranked 4th in the world in breakpoints per return, ahead of Sabalenka, probably feels surprising, maybe even hard to believe. So drop a comment and let us know. Did you expect Eala's return game to be mentioned in the same breath as Gauff, Swiatek, and Kostyuk? Or is this the first time her name has come up for you at all? And if you are already a fan, tell us which win this season convinced you she belonged in this conversation. Whether it was Rybakina, Svitolina, Keys, or that stunning takedown of Swiatek at Wimbledon. What makes this development even more significant is the timing. The hardcourt season is approaching fast, a surface where breakpoint opportunities matter even more because points move quicker and servers have less margin for error on flatter courts. If Eala carries this return pressure into hardcourt events, she is not just a dangerous floater in the draw anymore. She becomes a genuine threat to seeded players who rely on their serve to control matches. Sabalenka herself will not face Eala in every tournament, but every player in the locker room talks, and numbers like this travel fast through a tour that pays close attention to who is climbing and why. There is also a psychological angle here that should not be ignored. When a player becomes known for consistently earning break chances, opponents start second-guessing their own serve placement before the match even begins. Swiatek already knows firsthand what it feels like to lose that battle against Eala on the biggest stage in tennis. Not once, but twice now. First in Miami last year, and again at Wimbledon this year. If Sabalenka is watching this data, she now knows her ability to pressure second serves is technically being outperformed by a player many casual fans are only just discovering. That kind of stat has a way of getting inside a champion's head long before she ever steps on the same court. For Alex Eala, this is simply the latest data point in a season that has completely rewritten expectations for what a Filipino tennis player can achieve on the WTA Tour. She has beaten Rybakina, Svitolina, Keys, and Swiatek twice, made history at Wimbledon, climbed to a career-high ranking of 28, and now sits 4th in the world in one of tennis's most demanding statistical categories, ahead of Aryna Sabalenka herself. Whether or not she can close the gap on Gauff, Swiatek, and Kostyuk at the very top, the trajectory alone should have every contender on tour paying very close attention to where this 21-year-old is heading next.